welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about equal pay for women's football. Today is a historic day. Netherlands joins the club with the US women's national team. Denmark, Brazil, England, Spain, Norway in achieving equal pay. That means the women's national team will receive the same treatment as the men's national team with bonuses, rights, accommodations, etc. This is a historic day, which is so exciting for women's football. It is baby steps, but it's leading in the right direction. I think since 2019 from the World Cup, billions of people tuned in to that final, and it was just a light bulb moment in the sport for women's sports and women's football in general. And I think, you know, since 2019, we've consistently seen an upwards trend in people coming to the stadiums and people just showing their utmost support for their teams, for, you know, their pairs. And it's so exciting. It's a culture that, you know, football is a way of life. It's something that brings so many people together.
Everyone at the game, everyone cheering the whole time, and just the atmosphere was incredible. And I think once I finally got to step on the field for Portland, it was so surreal.
Just walking out that first time for warm-ups and there already being thousands of people in the stands.
I never felt this energy so deeply before. It's like the fans really carry you.
The support we had right from the get-go, and obviously the fans, but the organization, it was just top class from minute one.
It's so exciting and it's so unpredictable, and it's the beautiful game. It's why every 4 years we tune into it. This is why even this year with the Men's World Cup and the Women's Euros starting up in 2 weeks, and you know, the Women's CONCACAF qualifiers for the World Cup is coming up next month too. So this is just an exciting time for women's football, and to finally have countries who have phenomenal international stars on their team finally getting the pay they deserve, the respect they deserve, the acknowledgement. It's so rewarding. It's a breath of fresh air. And I remember when the US women's national team first got their equal rights fight, like when they won that fight, it was a historic day, of course, but it was just a weight lifted off of their shoulders. They were excited, they were liberated, and it wasn't just for the 23 players who go to the World Cup. It's not just for the players who play in the league, in the NWSL. It's just the players from the past, from centuries ago, who have consistently fought that and who have led that fight for years and years and years, and to finally achieve that fight is just, it's emotional, but it's so passionate, and it's just so liberating, and it feels so because you've just achieved something that, you know, women have deserved, and they put in the same blood, sweat and tears for so many hours training every single day. And yes, you know, still, you know, you look at the youth national teams, they still aren't on par with what the men have received, and it will take a while for the training that men have received for so long for the women to catch up to that. And I think, you know, these are the baby steps. Yes, we achieve women's equal pay, and I think we're on the right path to closing the gap between the men and the women in the same sport of football. And that's all that we've ever wanted. That's all that everyone has ever wanted. The men have come forward saying they want the women to have the same treatment, and to have the authorities, figures come and acknowledge that both parties want the same thing. It is just so exciting, and it's just so heartwarming to know that we are making change for the future, for our younger generations, and even for the present and for the past, because now they can look back and say, I made an impact and this is what we're going to do. And so it's so exciting. And even more to that, you know, the women's game is growing, and you see in Europe, some of the teams are now having pre-season tournaments coming to the US to have tournament games against the top clubs. You know, in the summer we're gonna have a Portland Thorns tournament featuring Lyon and Chelsea and Portland Thorns, and you know, all these phenomenal teams. And so, you know, it's iron sharpening iron. It's only going to grow, it's only going to get better, and it's just, how can you not be excited? Like, are you serious? Like, how can you seriously not be excited and not want to jump on the train of women's sports? It's just, investing in women's sports, it's just good business. I mean, like, what? I think, but yeah, you know, even with the NWSL, you know, right now we have, I think, is it 12 teams? I don't remember, but right now there's 4 former players in, I think it's Leslie Osborne, Brandy Chastain, Ali Wagner, and Danielle Slayton, who are now trying to, you know, expand the NWSL to the Bay Area in California, which, I mean, just the thought of women supporting women, but just growing the game. You know, we already see our team with San Diego just expanding this year on top of the table. Like, they're literally winning. Like, Alex Morgan has played her very best football, and it's no coincidence. Like, it's just because investments in team that are done properly. You know, when you create a team with great leadership, with great facilities, with great medical staff, and a great fan base and a great culture, you can attract so many players that want to come here, and it's what the players deserve. It's what they have worked so hard for. It's what any athlete, if they were a male, would have wanted and would have received. So why not receive it for the women? And I think right now we're seeing that. So it's so exciting to see, you know, potential expansion team with the Bay Area. I would love to see a team in Boston, maybe Cincinnati for Rose Lavelle. I would love to see a team maybe more in the South, Atlanta, Miami. Miami just got a new stadium. Yeah, I think it's going to be so exciting. Maybe a team in Colorado. You know, there's so many great players that come out of there, and so again, it's literally going to be so exciting, so rewarding, and I think only good things are going to come from this. So fingers crossed for a better future for women's sports, and let me know in the comments down below where you think the next NWSL expansion team will be.